And now the good news. Hi, I'm Barbara Jean, and I am so delighted to be here with you tonight. And it is Friday the 13th. What bad luck has, landed on your doorstep these days? Well, Friday the 13th is a well-known superstition, particularly in Western cultures, where it is considered an unlucky date. The belief may stem from a combination of negative associations with the number 13 and the day Friday, both of which are thought to invite misfortune. Some theories suggest that the superstition has historical roots, with a significant event occurring on Friday, October 13th, 1307, when many Knights Templar were arrested under orders from Pope Clement the fourth or the fifth, excuse me, and King Philip the Fourth of France. Additionally, biblical narratives such as Judas's betrayal of Jesus are often cited as contributing factors to the superstition's origins. Well, we all have heard about the movie Friday the 13th and the creepy stuff that goes on there, but well, tonight we're not having any bad luck here. We're having only good news. So get ready. So here we are, a 12-year-old. Well, meet 12-year-old who has turned her hobby into a career and has earned thousands selling her miniature doll houses and accessories. Arabella Duffy started making tiny food out of polymer and clay 2 years ago and spends up to 6 hours on each creation, whether a cookie, croissant, or strawberry shortcake. After posting her work on social media channels like TikTok, Arabella was inundated with positive messages and people wanting to buy her creations. She has sold over 400 items and makes around 2,000 pounds a year, 2,500 US, I guess. But she has plans to expand in order to save the profits for college so she can go on her way to study Egyptology. Ooh, that's interesting. She sits in her attic making stuff all night, said Arabella's mother, Sophie Smith, an artist from London. The end product is unbelievable. Because she is homeschooled and doesn't attend school, it has been great for her. She is doing things she loves and has a business. I'm so proud of her. The reaction of her work has been inspiring. Other people have been inspired and created their own miniature items. Arabella Duffy, man, some of the stuff she's created. Look at those pictures. Whoa. This month, the family will open a shop in Hampstead where they will sell Arabella's dioramas, matchbox paintings, and miniatures in her own display area. Well, that's very exciting. Talk about a creative family, but what a creative 12-year-old. Genius, absolutely genius. I love it. All right. So the principal has got a little bit of, I don't know, what do they call it? Writer's cramp. Principal of Summit High School in Mansfield, Texas, graduating seniors received more than just a diploma this year. They received a powerful lesson in kindness. Principal Jason Mutterer, affectionately known by students as Coach Mutt, went above and beyond by personally writing 443 handwritten letters, one for each graduating senior in the class of 2025. Along with each heartfelt note, he included a single dollar bill symbolizing the power of even the smallest acts of kindness. Though a dollar may seem modest, Mutterer wanted his gesture to carry a bigger message. I've done a small act of kindness by providing each of you with a handwritten letter and a dollar, he said during the grad ceremony, turning his back to the crowd to speak directly to the students. But 443 random acts of kindness can start a ripple of positivity and an impactful change. The personal letters and dollar bills took him more than 24 hours to complete, but to Mutterer, it was time well spent. His goal, to show his students that individual kindness matters and the collective compassion can create meaningful change in the world. I love that idea. Imagine that is a lot of letter writing. Whew, good for you. Okay, well, here's another interesting story. The Yurok tribe celebrates again as ancestral homelands are returned in the wake of historic dam removal. So, in Northern California, a Native American tribe is celebrating the return of ancestral lands in one of the largest such transfers in the nation's history. Through a Department of the Interior initiative aiming to bring Indigenous knowledge back into land management, 76 square miles east of the central stretch of the Klamath River has been returned to the Yurok tribe. Sandwiched between the newly freed Klamath and forested hillsides of evergreens, redwoods, and cottonwoods, Blue Creek is considered the crown jewel of these lands. Though if it were a jewel, it wouldn't be blue. It would be a giant, colorless diamond, such as the clarity of the water. It is the most important cold water tributary of the Klamath River and critical habitat for coho and Chinook salmon. Fished and hunted on since time immemorable by the Yurok and their ancestors. The land was taken from them during the gold rush before eventually being bought by timber companies. Barry McGovey Jr., director of the Yurok Tribal Fisheries Department, remembers slipping past gates and dodging security along the Blue Creek just to fish up a steelhead, one of 3 game fish that populate the river and need it to spawn. Profiled along with the efforts of this tribe to secure the land for themselves and their posterity, we spoke to AP about the experience of seeing plans made a decade ago come to fruition and returning to the creek on which he formerly trespassed as a land and fisheries manager. Wow. I'll tell you, that's very historical and very timely, I would say, given the things that are happening throughout Canada and the United States with our Indigenous people. So I'm really happy to share that story with you today. And on that note, we're going to take a short little commercial break. You're watching The Good News here on Friday the 13th, and we'll be back in just a minute. You're watching the New Thought Media Network, and more good news to come. Don't go away.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents The Global Heart of Peace's Peace Party. Celebrate the many paths to peace. Explore an exciting life of peace. Embody joyous peace. Come to our weekly Peace Party, Mondays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. www.ntmedia.org.
Welcome to the Convention of the Americas 2025, Rising Together. Join us for a truly bilingual retreat experience on the shores of the beautiful Lake Chapala, Mexico. July 22nd through July 26th, 2025, at the Hotel Villa Monte Carlo in Jalisco, Mexico. Featuring Reverend Jeffrey Ryan, Dr. Jose de Lira Sosa, Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis, Reverend Dr. John Waterhouse, and Reverend Dr. David Bruner. Registration is now open, and payment plans are available. Simply visit www.conventionoftheamericas.com. Come be part of a transformative gathering with powerful presentations, workshops, networking time, and just good old relaxing and connecting. Plus, you can learn more about the science of mind and how to live this powerful philosophy in your life. Transform your life at Convention of the Americas 2025, Rising Together.
And now more good news. Well, here is a good news, sad news kind of story. A hero crane driver who rescued a man from a burning building granted a humble bucket list wish. In late 2023, Good News Network reported that a construction worker had been rescued from the side of a burning high-rise building thanks to a heroic crane operator. A basket was suspended on the end of Glenn Edwards' crane meant for holding people while they work along the facades of buildings. And despite terrible visibility from the smoke and a blustery wind, he successfully positioned it close enough for the worker to climb aboard and escape a mixture of fire, smoke, and toxic fumes. In an update to that story, Edwards, who enjoys a hero's reputation in Reading, has received a series of home improvements as a gift for the heroism he demonstrated that day. The gift has another explanation, though. And that's that Edwards, who is currently 66 years old, has received a terminal cancer diagnosis. He likely had cancer on the day he saved the construction worker's life, and although it was previously treated successfully, it's come back and it has spread to his spine. Hearing about it and his life saving deed, Bucket List Wishes got in touch with Glenn and said they wanted to fulfill a bucket list item of his if it could be done, with Ginny Hackett, the charity's founder, reaching out personally. I found it amazing to do this wish for him, Hackett told ITV. He's really humble. What he did was incredible. He's a real hero to us, so we absolutely had to do something for him. Humble is as humble does, and all Mr. Edwards asked for was new flooring and a garden shed for a home he had recently moved into. It was work that needed doing, so that's what he hoped to receive. Not a lavish cruise or a dream vacation. In return, Hackett and Bucket List Wish took care of the shed and flooring, but also added completely new kitchen appliances, a large gift voucher for new bedding, and as an extra surprise, a fishing trip to the Victorian era seaside resort town of Swanage on the Dorset coast. That is a very sweet thing. Well, Edwards also spoke with ITV about his rescue. The smoke was absolutely intense. I could hardly see him well. I couldn't see him. I knew he was there. He was standing on the edge of the building, he said. He's got two girls, 8 and 13. They were at the time, and I got a very heartfelt letter that would bring a tear to your eye. How sweet is that story, and how heart-wrenching to know that after all that, he'll not be with us much longer. Okay, let's go to something a little funner, shall we? And I believe that there is a video for this one. The zoo visitor captures an incredible moment. An elephant saves a gazelle from drowning. Yes. Do you have that video for us, Deja?
Miren, 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 miren. Ah, vamos. 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 Sí, sí, lo logró, bravo. Un aplauso.
Look at that. Yeah, that's an incredible visual. A father visiting the zoo with his daughters on a school field trip had no idea he was about to witness something extraordinary. While the group from the Belgian school was enjoying the animals and learning about wildlife, something magical unfolded right before their eyes. An elephant saved a baby gazelle from drowning. Yeah, it's incredible. The dad later shared the moment online, writing, "Today, to celebrate Father's Day, we visited the zoo with our daughters and sons from the Belgian school. It was a wonderful experience full of learning and connecting with nature. The little ones were excited to see so many animals, but the most powerful moment was when they witnessed the zoo's elephant save a baby gazelle from drowning." An incredible act that reminded us how magical nature can be. How kind, how loving, and how compassionate as well. Whew, wow. Well, here's a fun story. 60s singer has the sweetest reaction to her song going viral 63 years later. It's not every day that a song from the early 1960s takes TikTok by storm, but that's exactly what's happened with Connie Francis's classic Pretty Little Baby. Originally released in 1962, the nostalgic tune has found new life online, with millions of TikTok users using it in their videos, introducing an entire new generation to the voice of one of the most iconic singers of the 50s and 60s. And Deja, do we have that little video?
Love me, pretty little baby. I'm hoping that you do. You can ask the flowers. I sit for hours telling all the bluebirds, the bill and coo.
Well, every time we hear that song from now, we'll be thinking about little calves and how cute they are. All right. Well, here's another great story. And, we have a lot of them here today. I'm so grateful to Sunny Skies for providing many of our stories this evening, but also the Good News Network and what they have been providing us with on a regular. So, honesty pays off. We all know that, or we should. A teen returns a lost wallet and gets a dream e bike from a grateful stranger. Yes, in a shining example of honesty and selflessness, 14-year-old Cody Chalmers of Chandler recently demonstrated remarkable integrity when he discovered a lost wallet brimming with cash. His decision to return it led to an incredible surprise, a brand new e bike gifted by a stranger impressed by his actions. Cody was simply riding his bike near his father's home when he stumbled upon the wallet. Inside, he found not only around $300 in cash, but also credit cards, health insurance cards, and driver's license. Instead of keeping the money, Cody took the initiative to track down the owner using social media and public records. He successfully arranged a meeting to return the wallet, which the grateful owner revealed she had accidentally left on top of her car before driving off. Ouch. Cody's mother, Carrie Ann Strecker, was immensely proud of her son's honesty. She shared the heartwarming story on Facebook, highlighting Cody's unprompted display of integrity. In her post, she wrote, "I am thrilled to share a heartwarming story about my 14-year-old son, Cody, who demonstrated remarkable integrity this past weekend without any prompting from me." She also mentioned his diligent efforts to save money for a new e-bike. The post quickly gained traction in the Chandler community. Inspired by Cody's action, a stranger decided to reward his good deed. The stranger, Adam Bailey, surprised Cody with the e-bike he'd been saving for. He was like, "Your motivation and like integrity would get you far in life, so that's why I brought you this." Cody recounted to his local news station, proudly displaying his new ride. In a remarkable twist of fate, the generous stranger had purchased the e-bike from a store aptly named Integrity E-Bikes, adding another layer of significance to Cody's story. Cody hopes his experience will inspire other teenagers to choose the path of integrity. As he wisely stated, do the right thing and you will get good things back. I'm with you, Cody. That is absolutely the truth. Okay, well, people are graduating right now and heading off to university. Well, this young woman, she had been dreaming about it for a long time, and she's now officially a college graduate. She's 88-year-old Joan Alexander. She never gave up that dream that began in the 50s. At 88 years old, she's now officially a college graduate, fulfilling a lifelong goal that was put on hold for more than 6 decades. Back in the late 50s, Alexander was studying at the University of Maine with hopes of becoming a teacher, but societal expectations and outdated policies derailed her plans. When she became pregnant during her studies, she was barred from completing her student teaching, a requirement at the time, and left the university without her degree in 1959. Despite the setback, Alexander poured her heart into raising her 4 daughters while her husband, a member of the Coast Guard, was often away at sea. Over the years, she remained active in her community, volunteering at her local church, school, and library in Southwest Harbor, Maine. Still, the unfinished chapter in her life remained on her mind. That changed when her youngest daughter, Tracy, reached out to the University of Maine to see if there was any way her mother's past work could be recognized. She connected with Justin Dimmel, Associate Dean in UMaine's College of Education and Human Development, who immediately took interest in the request. I was moved by Joan's story. Her commitment to completing her undergrad education was inspiring to me, my colleagues, and the graduating class of 2025. Through conversations and research, the university discovered that Joan had, in fact, fulfilled the spirit of the student teaching requirement years earlier. In the early 1980s, she had worked full time with preschool age children in a home based education program. Her responsibilities included fostering early literacy and motor skills work that was deemed equivalent to traditional student teaching. With all degree requirements now satisfied, UMaine officially awarded Alexander her Bachelor of Science in Education. She became one of the university's oldest graduates in its 160-year history. I didn't realize that it would mean so much to me, but I now feel that a hole in my heart has been healed. Oh, she is so sweet. Although she couldn't attend the May 11th commencement ceremony in person, her daughter Tracy and granddaughter Isabel walked in her honor. And Joan's, wow, I'm all emotional about this one. Joan's story was even featured in a speech by UMaine President Joan Ferrini Monday, who praised her determination as a true example of the Black Bear spirit. Isn't that beautiful? Way to go, Joan! Bravo. Okay, well, here's you talk about luck. You know, some people have all the luck. Have you ever heard that? Some people have all the luck. Well, here's a gentleman who truly does have all the luck, and he's from my home province in Canada. Oh, excuse me. An astonishing winning streak by David Sirkin has reached new heights as the Lethbridge local celebrates his fourth major lottery win. Sirkin, whose name is quickly becoming synonymous with incredible good fortune in the Lethbridge area, recently secured another $1 million prize in the May 3rd Lotto 649 Classic draw. This latest windfall brings Sirkin's total winnings to an astonishing $2.5 million in less than 9 months, but not including an even earlier win. His recent wins included $500,000 from the August 20th Lotto Max draw, an additional $1 million from the November 16th Lotto 649 draw. And as if that weren't enough, now Toronto reported that Sirkin's luck even extends back over a decade. He previously won $250,000 in another draw more than 10 years prior to his recent three-peat. Sirkin himself acknowledges his extraordinary nature of his luck. I know the odds are astronomical, he shared with a laugh. I don't think it'll happen again, but I still like buying tickets. Sirkin, his most recent $1 million prize came from the Lotto 649 Gold Ball draw, specifically with the selection 24645097-05, a white ball. For context, the odds of winning the Lotto Max jackpot or Maximilian prizes are 1 in 33,294,800, and he's done it 4 times. Well, so check your tickets, folks. You just never know. You might, in fact, be as lucky as Sirkin is. That's an incredible story. My goodness. All right. Now, here is a story that really touched my heart when I saw it. A bartender's act of kindness saves a woman's life. At a historic bar in Kansas City, something remarkable happened that's now touching hearts across the internet. Heath, a bartender at Kelly's Westport Inn, likely had no idea his kindness would mean so much, but to one woman, it meant everything. She didn't say much at the time, but after her visit, she left a handwritten note on her receipt thanking Heath for saving her life. The powerful message revealed that something as simple as being treated with compassion and warmth can make all the difference, especially on someone's darkest day. Co-owner Colleen Kelly was moved by the note and decided to share it online. In her post, she encouraged others to keep showing kindness, writing, "Keep being kind, folks. You just never know." The note quickly struck a chord, drawing heartfelt responses from across the community. This has me tearing up a little bit. Thank you for sharing how impactful kindness can be. Always a good reminder, one commenter wrote. Since the story spread online, more people have come forward with their own stories. There's a lot of negativity out there, Kelly shared. There are days that can feel overwhelming, right? Maybe sometimes just go to the local pub and put down your phone and have a conversation with someone. In a world where we often underestimate the power of everyday kindness, Heath's quiet gesture is a beautiful reminder. Being kind may not cost a thing, but to someone else, it might mean everything. So, folks, for this Friday the 13th, I want to invite you to practice random acts of kindness and senseless beauty. Share with the world the gifts and talents that you've been born with and blessed with, and take all of those gifts forward out into the world. Allow yourself to be seen, to be heard, and to be recognized and acknowledged, not only as a dynamic and divine human being, but also for someone who cares about the rest of our human family, animal family, and even plant family. So little things can be done. It doesn't take much. You could mow a neighbor's lawn that's feeling under the weather. In the winter time, you could shovel their snow. You could buy a cup of coffee for someone out in the cold. Or you could take, that single mom that lives down the street, you could take her kids for a day and let her have a little bit of respite. So regardless of what's in your heart, what's in mine today is that this is the luckiest day ever, because we've got the New Thought Media Network and we've got the good news here on Friday the 13th. So let's keep making the sunshine and good news be here for everyone, and allow yourself to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, and to make a difference in a world that definitely needs it. You're watching the New Thought Media Network here on Friday the 13th. I'm Barbara Jean, and I am your regular host for this show now, and I'm delighted to be back from my mini vacay. Well, it wasn't a vacay, it was actually a moving vacation. So yeah, not really. Anyway, I'm delighted to be back, delighted to be here with you tonight. I want to thank my producer, Deja, and her remarkable partner in crime, Maple, the little puppy extraordinaire, and the New Thought Media Network team for all that's going on here. And if you haven't checked out the station, please do. We're here every night of the week doing something wonderful. And check out the radio shows. Lots of great music. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And hey, you got a couple extra dollars in your purse this afternoon? Well, hey, how about sending a donation to the New Thought Media Network so we can keep this good news programming happening year-round. Bye for now. Have a wonderful week.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Spiritual Center, Kitchener, Om Center for Spiritual Living, La Mesa, Satya Center, Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for making New Thought Media Network a place to be. Please come be you. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.